Welcome back to another episode of Table 500, where your horrible misplays, deck lists, and just dreadful deck ideas are torn apart. So you know what you're getting yourself into. This is a toxic coaching series, and if you're easily offended, you should probably look away now. So, on today's agenda is Clock Tower Prison. Yes, Clock Tower Prison. I don't know what that is, but I had a little look over it, and I think the title of the email kind of summarizes it perfectly. So this is sent in by Drylands, I guess, is what you're calling yourself. This has been labeled the worst deck in the entire game, which honestly is really not far off from what I saw. Briefly. So he says, "Hi Farfa, the win condition of this deck is to make a board that your opponent cannot out and then wait until they deck out." Wait, what? All modern decks have too many ways to break the lock, but it's a fun deck to play against bad players. Only included one replay with the actual win condition since it is so long, but the other replays show you why you should probably play Trick Stars instead of this deck. Let me just double check and see if I'm reading this right. The win condition is to make a board that your opponent can't out and then wait till they deck out. Can we get some like question marks in the chat? Can you just like give me like question marks? Alright. I don't know. Let's just jump into it because we're in for a long one. I think, apparently. Alright. So for anyone who isn't aware, Clock Tower Prison reads, during each of your opponent's standbys, you place a clock counter on this. And when there's 4 more clock counters, you don't take any battle damage. When this card with 4 or more clock counters is destroyed, you can special summon Destiny Hero Dreadmaster from your hand or deck. So I don't even know if he's main decking Dreadmaster at this point, if he's describing that as his win condition. But basically what we've got is, I suppose, just stall the deck. Now he's up against Chaos Sworn, who's managed to drop Dad onto the field, and he has the Scapegoat token to protect himself. I am going to hazard a guess and say that he actually probably even isn't even playing targets for Scapegoat. Oh, that's awkward. I think. Oh, okay. So his opponent just scooped because he's probably bored already. That's completely understandable. Now, what is this? Iron Core of Quackimeru. During your draw, if this is in the grave, you can add this card from your hand instead of drawing, or send a Quackimeru monster from your hand to your graveyard. Okay. Of course, we're playing Raigeki, just for, you know, destroying monsters on the field. Whomstead of y'all in it does yes play Clock Tower stall? He called Prohibition. What did he call? Twin Twisters! Prohibition Twin Twisters. Because I have to protect my Scapegoat and Dart Bribe and Floodgate Trap. Oh, okay, great. I was wrong. I'm sorry, I was wrong. He actually, in fact, is playing targets for Scapegoat. I was just under the impression he wasn't playing any targets for Scapegoat. He was just playing ways to stall for Clock. All right, okay. Well, we won a duel, and Scapegoat proving again why that card should have been hit. It carries dreadful cards like this into the meta. Twin Twister Raigeki fits snugly in this replay. Of course, that's going to be so plump in the deck list. I can't wait. All right, I think this is the long one. This is the one we're in for the long haul. All right, Duality for Warning, Metaverse, and Strike. Okay, Strike and Quaking. Our field spell gets Ghost Ogre, but that's fine. Quaking on Melusik. When she attacks, she can send a card on the field to the grave, so I feel like he had to Mirror Force that. We're getting our Clock Tower back down again, so this is where he's going to be slowly gaining those Clock Tower. Okay, he's got a Judgment on the Spoofing. Shuffle another Altergeist card from your hand or face up from your field into the main deck and add an Altergeist card. That's alright, I think. Well, I don't know. It seems very slow, actually. Multi-Faker is going to attack, and that's going to get Battle Fadered. Raigeki, of course, is going to come in very clutch at some point. His opponent has Sphere Mode, but that's okay. We're never actually going to summon or make a board at any point at all in this duel, because as Drylands has so amazingly pointed out, is that... Okay, good. All right, so he's prohibitioned Altergeist Sequitus or something. I think that's like one of the better ones. So at least he didn't prohibit Twin Twister this time. All right, terraforming for another clock tower. We've got 4 counters on it. So that's a thing. Now he's not going to take any battle damage. That's awesome. You know what else doesn't that lets you not take battle damage? Wabuku, Thunder of Ruler, all these different cards. And do you know what the advantage of those cards are? You don't need to wait 4 turns for it to kick in. You don't need to wait 4 turns for it to kick in. He actually randomly chose an Altergeist to probe it. Yeah, well, I think Sequitus is actually the best one, because I think he's like the Compulse one, or I think it's the Trap that bounces. One of them bounces constantly. But yeah, at least I'm glad that it wasn't Twin Twister that we called this time. We're at 10 counters, and we are on turn 25. Now, the situation is that his opponent is unable to deal any battle damage. Now, he stated that his plan was to make a board, quote unquote, make a board. I guess this constitutes a board in 2018, at least in this. Well, maybe 3018, because that's where this guy is doing. But anyway, we're actually lower than our opponent on the card count here. So I really don't know what his plan is. He can't activate Scapegoat. He can't literally do anything because, well, he needs to be able to use one of these cards in order for his opponent to do anything. And I guess his opponent's picked up on the fact that he's ahead of he's ahead by 5 cards. I like how in the end phase he's discarding things like Skill Drain instead of Prohibition. Because, what are you going to do? Are you planning on prohibiting his entire deck? Also, I wonder how long this duel took in real time, because this is now turn 42. 41. Clock Tower has 19 counters on it. So, I mean, that's what does it do now? Just summon every Dreadmaster in your binder? Just put 8 of them on the field? I guess we'll find out. This is starting to get really anticlimactic. I'm sincerely hoping I did not watch your what's it going to be? It's going to be 55 by the end of the duel. I really hope I am not going to sit through 55 replays or so just to just for you to lose. Okay? Now, I've given you the floor with this Clock Tower deck, and I'm expecting great things. Again, I'm still not understanding what this Kwakimeru card is for. Hang on. I think I have an idea. If this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand instead of drawing. Oh, it's now finally clicked. What he's going to do... Yeah, okay, so he's going to keep skipping his draw phase to add this back, and then in the end phase, pitch it. I think we have finally figured out your deck's win condition after how many turns? 51 turns we have deciphered your win condition. We have finally managed to understand and figure out what the fuck's going on with your deck. Right. I'm sorry, I'm a little slow today, apparently. Okay. It took me 51 turns, but we got there in the end. So I think his opponent has also realized, so he's starting to play around his cards. He's choosing to Ghost Ogre the Clock Tower, but that's getting striked. I'm assuming he's just striking anything because... Oh, and he's quit. Wow. Oh. Darn! Why did he quit? Well, as soon as he pitched the Kwakimeru, I think his opponent realized what his win condition was and what his what the actual plan was. Yeah. So that was interesting. I think we've seen all of them now, right? God, how many turns was that in total? Let's take a look at your list now. Okay. 1 Kwakimeru. I mean, you only need 1, right? You're going to draw it eventually. Oh, the lock. What do we call this deck? Clock Tower Lock? Well, at least there's Borreload in here. That's good. Could have made Borreload instead of Double Radiant last game. That would have been much better. What is it? Can you just play like one Dreadmaster, please. Like, just play a Dreadmaster. I don't know why you have board wipes. I mean, what is the point? Like, why are you playing board wipes? Just play more Mirror Forces or something, or play more, like, yeah, I just, like, more Mirror Forces would be good. Prohibition in the main deck, like, really? Are you that scared of Twin Twister? I don't know, this deck's a complete fucking mess, Drylands. I'm really disappointed in you. I think that you need to put this deck somewhere in the toilet. Just put some monsters in here, like, put, like, Inspect Border in or something at least. Put a Dreadmaster in, for fuck's sake. Alright guys, I think that'll do it for this one. This has been Clock Tower Control. Thanks for watching.